The Germans are using something called Enigma, which is a machine that can produce billions of different letter combinations every single day. It's completely random. It's almost impossible to crack. You would have to be a genius. These were the words of Sir Hugh Dowding, the Commander-in-Chief of Britain's Royal Air Force Fighter Command. He was speaking about the German military's new encryption technology, which they believed made their communications completely unbreakable. It was 1939, and the threat of war between Britain and Germany loomed large. Secret messages were sent back and forth between German U-boats and their commanders. But nobody could read those messages because they were encrypted using a machine known as Enigma. This device produced seemingly random letters and numbers, making it almost impossible to decipher what the Germans were saying. Even if someone did manage to guess the code, it changed every day, making it nearly impossible to keep up with. But then something unexpected happened. A top-secret team of code breakers led by the brilliant mathematician Alan Turing managed to crack the Enigma code. Their work not only helped to shorten the war, but also save countless lives. Yet their story has largely been forgotten until now. Now join me as we delve into the fascinating world of secret codes and uncover how Turing and his team managed to crack one of the most complex ciphers of all time. This is the story of Alan Turing and the men who cracked the Enigma in Bletchley Park, an ordinary-looking house in the English countryside. In the summer of 1938, a group of mathematicians and cryptographers gathered under the direction of the brilliant but eccentric Alan Turing. They had one mission: to break the Enigma code and expose the secrets of Nazi Germany. Their leader, Turing, was a genius. He had cracked the encryption used by the Germans in less than a year, an accomplishment that had baffled the rest of the world's top code breakers. But now the real challenge began. How could they keep up with the ever-changing codes? You see, the German military relied heavily on Enigma machines to encrypt their communications. These machines could generate billions of potential code combinations every day, making them virtually unbreakable. If the British couldn't find a way to keep up with the changing codes, then their efforts would be in vain. But Turing wasn't going to let that happen. Using his knowledge of mathematics and cryptography, he designed a machine that would test thousands of possible solutions in mere seconds. It was called the Bomba, and it was the world's first programmable computer. With the help of his team, Turing built several Bomba machines, each capable of testing hundreds of thousands of potential codes every minute. Suddenly, what had seemed like an impossible task became a very real possibility. The Germans' most secret communications were being decoded and delivered to the British military. But there was a problem. If the Germans knew that their codes were being broken, they would change them more frequently, making it even harder to keep up. So Turing and his team had to operate in complete secrecy. They worked around the clock, often for weeks at a time without sleep. The pressure was immense, but they knew that the fate of the war, perhaps the fate of the world, rested on their shoulders. In the end, their hard work paid off. By 1945, the bombs had helped to break the Enigma code and expose many of the Germans' most secret plans. The British military was able to use this intelligence to great advantage, winning crucial battles and shortening the war by an estimated 2 years. It is estimated that the breaking of the Enigma code saved millions of lives and may have prevented World War II from escalating into a global nuclear conflict. So how did these brilliant code breakers accomplish such an incredible feat? What made them so special? First and foremost, there was Alan Turing himself. He was a true genius, one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century. His contributions to mathematics and computer science are still studied and celebrated today. But it wasn't just his intellect that made him so effective. It was also his sheer determination and relentless pursuit of knowledge. He was a man on a mission to solve the Enigma puzzle, and nothing was going to stand in his way. Then there were the men who worked under Turing's leadership. They were a diverse group of individuals from different backgrounds and with different skill sets. But they were all united by one common goal. They were the best and the brightest minds in Britain, and they were brought together by Turing to form a team that would become known as the Code Breakers. Together, they worked tirelessly to break the Enigma code, They lived and breathed their work. It was all-consuming and exhausting, but they never gave up. They pushed themselves to the limit, and in the process, they accomplished something that had never been done before. Finally, there was the Bomba machine itself. This was the world's first programmable computer, and it was the key to breaking the Enigma code. The Bomba allowed the code breakers to test thousands of potential solutions in mere seconds. This speed was essential because the Germans were changing their codes every day. If the code breakers couldn't keep up, then the Germans would eventually figure out that their communications were being intercepted. The Bomba gave them the edge they needed to stay one step ahead of the Germans. But the story of the code breakers doesn't end there. In fact, their work had an impact that went far beyond the end of World War II. You see, the methods they developed for breaking the Enigma code laid the foundation for modern cryptography and computer science. The Bomba machine, with its ability to perform complex calculations at lightning speed, is considered to be the first general-purpose computer. It paved the way for the development of the modern computer and the digital age we live in today. Without the work of Alan Turing and the code breakers at Bletchley Park, who knows where our technology would be today? So why is the story of the code breakers so important? Why should you care about these men who lived and worked in secrecy during World War II? It's important to remember that these men were real people with real lives. They had families and friends, hobbies and interests. They were just ordinary people who did something extraordinary. They put aside their everyday concerns and focused on a task that was not only difficult but nearly impossible. And they succeeded. They proved that with enough hard work and determination, anything is possible. It's also important to remember that the code breakers didn't just crack the Enigma code. They changed the course of history. Their work not only saved millions of lives, but also helped to bring an end to World War II. They were unsung heroes, working in the shadows, but their impact was felt around the world. Finally, it's important to remember that the code breakers laid the foundation for the digital age. Their work with computers and cryptography paved the way for the technological advancements we enjoy today. They were pioneers in a field that is now more important than ever. So the next time you log onto your computer or send a message over the internet, take a moment to think about the code breakers at Bletchley Park. They may have worked in secrecy, but their contributions to our world are undeniable. And that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the brave men and women who shape our world, don't forget to subscribe. Also, please leave a like below and comment if you liked it and suggest a topic that you would like to see in the future. Until next time, thanks for watching.